Salutations, YouTubers. It is I, Colonel of Wisdom, reporting for duty. Yeah, clearly I'm a YouTube rookie, which is gonna be very obvious in this video. But I was compelled to make my first official upload, and the upload is a video response to this YouTuber who goes by the name Rex12345667. I'll have the video that I'm replying to in my description box, so you guys could go see it for yourself first if you want to know what it is that I'm replying to. Okay, now I'm going to address Mr. Rex now. I just wanted to say that I've subscribed to your videos, and I'm a big supporter of MRA, and I'm really not into feminism at all. I do think it's had a detrimental effect on this country, and I agree with most of your viewpoints. But in this one, which I'm replying to your video, protect your kids, I've got to say that I disagreed with a lot of what you said in that video. I very respectfully yet firmly and passionately disagree. First, I want to say that I do think that a lot of those animated shows you listed are in fact inappropriate for your children, but not for the reasons you said. And I also wanted to clarify that it appears to me, judging by the background noises in your videos and that colorful little picture that was on your refrigerator, that your children are age 5 and under. I mean, if you want me to, you could correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I sense that your children are age 5 and under, or if they are in elementary school, that maybe they're 6 or something. But in any event, you were listing all of the cartoon shows that you think will have a detrimental effect on children. One of them you listed was SpongeBob. You say you see homosexual behavior in that, or you see nudity, and you listed Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron, both of which feature parental neglect. The cartoon show Flapjack, which featured, as you said, a character eating an excessive amount of candy, and Billy and Mandy, which has a lot of gross out humor. And you know, I should clarify that I'm in my early 20s, and I've always been a huge, immense fan of both animation and also children's media, even though those two things are exclusive to each other, contrary to popular belief in this country. Americans tend to associate animated anything with children because we have a history of doing that. When animation first came out, it was actually for the older audiences. It was actually for adults. It wasn't, pornographic or intensely violent, but it wasn't for children, the very earliest forms of American animation. But when Disney came along, and they were huge hits for making animation exclusively for children, then Warner Brothers decided they wanted to compete and decided censoring their Looney Tunes and making their later Looney Tunes more family friendly. Hence why most Americans associate, animation equals children. But animation is actually a medium that could encompass any genre. It could be science fiction, romance, adult oriented. It could be targeted towards teens. So yeah, it's really not just for children. And I'm sure you already knew that. You're only talking about the anime. But let me get to what I disagree with you on. What you described as homosexual behavior in SpongeBob. I haven't watched SpongeBob in about, I'd say maybe 6 years. But when it premiered on TV, I was 12 years old, and then I saw it consistently for the next 8 or so years of my life. And then I just got tired of it. It wasn't being funny anymore. But I don't recall two characters kissing, or two same-sex characters kissing on that show. I do recall most people typically say that SpongeBob promotes gayness because SpongeBob himself is quite emasculated, and then there's Squidward, who's rather effeminate, but neither of them have had a mate of the same sex. And SpongeBob is a sponge, after all. Sponges are asexual creatures. Wouldn't make much sense to give him a love interest, I guess the creators were thinking. And as for Squidward, Squidward is typically the antagonist and or butt monkey on the show. And if you're not familiar, with the term butt monkey, it's just a character who we laugh at this character's expense, basically. We laugh at their misery, at their pain. They're always getting set up, they're always getting owned, and they're always getting humiliated, and it's for the sake of comic relief. This character's never taken seriously. He's always, the butt of every jokes, of all the jokes on the show. And he usually either gets some form of comeuppance, or some form of comeuppance for his, negative behavior, or he'll just get bad luck, or just bad things will happen to him, and it'll be in the context of comedy, and even if it wasn't provoked or particularly deserved. That's just the role that Squidward plays. So my relevance in bringing that up is that if you're going to insist that SpongeBob references homosexuality, it's actually referencing homosexuality, if anything at all, in the negative sense, since a character who has what we consider to be homosexual tendencies is usually the one who's always seen in an unfavorable light. You see a lot of this, especially in the Disney cartoons. And I know that your commentary on children's media was about television, but I think this is still somewhat relevant. In the Disney cartoons, if the villain is male, he's usually effeminate and witch-like. And he receives some type of horrible comeuppance in the end, of course, him being the villain. So I really don't see the logic in that SpongeBob or typical American cartoons promote a homosexuality. If you're going to say that an effeminate male character promotes homosexuality, you got to look at the context of it, though, and if the show supports it. And I think a lot of parents make this. I mean, with all due respect to me, a lot of parents make this mistake. They have this logical fallacy of, well, just because in regards to children's media, well, just because you see a character do something, the program is subliminally telling your children to do it. That's really not the case. And if you applied that to every children's film ever made, then nothing is okay for children. Like if you take The Wizard of Oz, for example, the protagonist, Dorothy, what happens? She accidentally kills 2 people. And yet, she's praised and celebrated for this. I mean, yeah, the characters were evil, but still, she was responsible for both of their deaths, and she received praise and celebration for this. So are we telling children that it's okay to kill mean people? See where I'm going with that? If you apply that to everything, then nothing is okay for children. And I also want to point out that, again, this is not, criticism on your own parenting, because like I said, you have very, very small children, and yes, a lot of those programs you listed are not appropriate for children. But still, childhood is a wide umbrella. It starts in the diaper age and ends at the late teens. Biologically, you could say it ends at 16 or 15. And this video is exceeding 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop this for now and continue in part 2 and part 3 if need be. Kernel of Wisdom out.